And it's welcome back to part two of Sportsfan Radio. A small internet problem there, Paul. We did get up to your pick number 7 for the NRL, being the Sharks. How do you look after that?
I was going to say, take more than internet stoppage to stop me. They say a long wooden box might not even stop me talking. But I think the Sharks are going to be one of those examples where they've added the chemistry, but whether it all works is another issue. They'll have one of the hardest working coaches around. Got them at 7. This might surprise you and local listeners. I got the Storm at 6. I just think losing the players of the calibre they have, and with the tough nature of this game, Finucane, the best player that Bellamy's played with in terms of his hard-workingness, spirit, his team spirit, big loss. Nico Hines won't be there to fill in the halves if needed. And Ado Carr, as we mentioned earlier, won't be there. I think in the background too, a few departures are going to be weighing on the minds of the Storm and the coach, including the coach himself. He hasn't decided, Bellamy, if he's coming back for more time, whether he'll be in a coaching capacity or whether a coaching director, Phil Gould type capacity, but that's going to be playing on the players' minds, and particularly those who are not sure whether they're going to sign on. And he's looking at you, Jerome Hughes, who I'm almost certain will go to Wayne Bennett and the Dolphins. You've got both the Brandon Smith going as well, and the Bromwich brothers going as well. So this is the end of an era for the Storm, and I think that's going to affect them on field. I've got a team that's promised for quite a few years and is on the up. The Eels, I think, are going to finish just outside the top 4 at number 5 this year. They've got our favourite Police Academy recruit, Reid Mahoney, at 9. They've got Dylan Brown and Mitchell Moses, who are a pretty good halfback combination. They wouldn't want any injuries there, but I think that they're going to look pretty good this year and maybe fulfil some of their potential, the Eels, and also locking up their talisman, their lucky charm, their spiritual leader, Gutherson at the back, is going to help them as well. That's the 5th position for the Eels. I underplayed my Rabbitohs last year. I might hopefully do it again this year. Number 4 for the Bunnies, but having lost our halfback general, Napoleon, whatever you want to call him, Adam Reynolds, and also Wayne Bennett, I think that's going to be a big loss. Latrell Mitchell coming back will be amazing for the team and for the league because he can do anything on his day, but I think we're going to finish 4th. The Panthers, it's always tough to repeat. I think they'll come in at 3. It's almost impossible to go back-to-back in the NRL, given how physical it is, and you lose players with the salary cap. I've just got them coming in at 3. Now, I've got a grand final that leaves of the Roosters, which might surprise some. I'm putting any personal views to one side. I think that the Roosters this year, with Luke Keary and a freak of a young player, Sam Walker, in the halves are going to go pretty well. And you've got the Trent Robinson, who's been called the best thinker in the game, signed up long-term. Tedesco at the back can play a bit of footy, as we know, Professor, as well. That leaves, and I hope your man Schooner's listening in, first time on this show, I've got Manly coming top, Professor. Several reasons there. Their team on paper, I think, is the best in the league, and they've got a guy coming through called Tolo Kola, if you don't mind, and he runs 10.58 in the 100 metres, which is pretty sharp on anyone's reckoning. So I think that they've got speed to burn. Kieran Foran, however you want to pronounce, is playing like he's 25 again, even though he's been around forever. Tommy Turbo, of course, the super freak, the proof of alien life on Earth, the way he talks, the way he runs, the way he speaks, the way he looks. Sorry, no offence to Tommy T. And I just think that they're going to be absolutely amazing with Cherry Evans there as well. They've fended off the advances of Wayne Bennett. Cherry Evans was a Dolphins junior, so it's quite interesting there. They wanted him, obviously, to be their marquee signing, no dice. And I actually think Manly are going to win it all, Professor.
One quick question, we'll get out of here on this one, Paul. The Storm, even though they've lost a whole lot of players, still have the X factor in Craig Bellamy.
Yep.
Your Rabbitohs have lost a couple of players and also Wayne Bennett. How big a loss is Bennett to the team?
Well, it seems that they've done something that certainly Collingwood couldn't do. They've handed the baton over in that Demetrio shattered Bennett. He got the players' trust. It's not that they're completely different styles. They're actually apparently quite similar in some ways, but he hasn't just been parachuted in and Wayne Bennett hasn't been forced out. It's not that at all. It was a mutual decision to bring in this succession plan to Demetrio. We'll see what happens. No one can be Wayne Bennett, of course, but I just think at the Storm, they've got the benefit of Bellamy. But I just think that will weigh over some of the players' heads as to whether he's going to be hanging around for another year. Massive career that he's had there. Let's see what happens, whether they can sign him up for another season.
All right, Paul, thanks for your thoughts about the 2022 NRL season, and we'll look to see how that plays out during the year.
Looking forward to it.